Congressman Rich McCormick joins us now. I'll tell you what's laughable is that the Green New Deal is estimated to cost nearly $93 trillion. I mean, here we have a situation where Democrats want to spend like drunken sailors. We're headed toward a default, but here, let's just give all this money to climate. What do you think?
The good news is they don't have control of Congress, and when they did, we didn't pass it because it was a bad bill to begin with. It's absolute ludicrousy to think that we're going to put that kind of burden on American taxpayers and that it's going to actually fix the environment. As a matter of fact, we've done all kinds of studies to show it basically doesn't improve the environment at all. It puts all of the eggs in the China basket as they produce most of the renewable energy sources, and it supplements Chinese companies instead of American companies mostly. And it was a bad policy to begin with.
But Congressman, in a sense, I would argue that she is right in the sense that she is winning, because if you look at how our country's been transformed, specifically when it comes to fossil fuels, they are transforming and destroying our country and our economy. So how do Republicans fight back to make sure she starts seeing some losses?
The biggest part is just to educate the public. I mean, there's a reason we took back the House. They understand that this is irresponsible. The Green New Deal wouldn't be new for very long. It'd get old extremely quickly as we saw huge tax increases. They think they can tax or spend their way out of this, just like they did with the Inflation Reduction Act, which did nothing but increase inflation. Their idea that we can use fiat currency and increase the debt is insane. It's what China does, but China doesn't pay interest in the same way we do. We're actually held accountable. We're right now on the brink of failure if you look at how much money we spend on reducing our deficit through payments. That's why we're having some serious consequential talks with Biden right now about reducing our deficit. If we don't, we're going to be in big trouble in the future.
Yeah, we will. And you keep mentioning China. And as you mentioned, we're already seeing Democrats' climate crusade playing right into the hands of China. Listen to this.
You recently unveiled a solar panel microgrid at Fort Bragg. Did the manufacturer certify that those panels were made in America?
I think since most panels are made in China, they're probably made in China.
So, I mean, once again, this isn't even benefiting the United States.
Now, 80% of the solar panels worldwide are pretty much made in China. They make 90% of a lot of our drugs that we require right now. We put a lot of emphasis to expose that China is cheating on the World Trade Organization, which they belong to for about 20 years. They've had, I think, around 26 lawsuits brought against them by the United States alone on how they cheat. They supplement their companies with government money to throw the market off. They use slave labor in the west portion of China to produce these things at an incredibly cheap price. It's not fair competition, and it basically shuts down our ability to compete with them or anybody else's in the world, and it's very dangerous to the world economy.
What makes it even more dangerous, Congressman, is that we're talking about our military budget. Our military really should be focused right now on combating China, readiness in case we do go into a war in Taiwan. And so what is our military doing with its budget? Giving it to China for these solar panels and helping China in the process. It's the definition of insanity. Hopefully you and your Republican colleagues in Congress can do something about it. Congressman Rich McCormick, we appreciate your time and your insight this morning. Thank you, sir.